Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome back to the Dome of the Snow in Snowdome. I'll place my hands on the door and use all my strength to push it forward. The sound of tearing rust and scattering dust keeps reverberating from the back of the door. A cool breeze blows out from the gaps. It's supposed to be summer, but I find myself shivering. There's a stairway extending all the way down. The stairs look ancient, but there are emergency lights illuminating the place, reaching far deep into the darkness. Amidst the darkness, I smell danger. That perilous air is sending shockwaves to my brain, making my body shiver. I turn around. Lakshin is no less frightened, despite doing everything she can to hold it in. I let out a comfortable smile. Lakshin, thanks for bringing me over here. You helped me enough already. I'll take this journey. No, we're going to do this together, I imagine. Wait. If I find anything, I'll come back and tell you for sure. I don't wait for her to reply and start climbing down. That's enough. I keep murmuring to myself. Lakshin shouldn't come down here. Actually, I already understood the moment when Lakshin spoke with Kiki's voice. Lakshin, you're different. You're not just an employee at a convenience store. You have greater things ahead of you. You have a life worth treasuring. People who care about you. You have a bright future. Even if she saw the truth might destroy everything that she has now. In contrast, I've got nothing. No savings, no friends, no future. I curl my lips up. If I disappear one day, it won't change a thing in this world. I'm sure your friends will miss you. Lakshin and Aiju will miss you. Your parents will miss you. Aiju will continue to wander in the ruins just like before. Lakshin will forget about me soon. She won't. She'll keep reaching high in the TV station and meet someone I could never stand side to side with. Mr. Chow will find a new employee. Zhuji's business will continue to thrive. As for my parents at the countryside, the field our ancestors left us is going to come to an end in my generation. But I'm not running away. Now there's something I have to do. That's enough. I faintly hear a peculiar sound from behind me, but I don't plan to turn around, because I'm afraid if I look back, I'll lose the courage to move forward. Chapter 13. Chapter 13 intertwined. No, I don't want you. A point of no return. Wonder why this is the intertwined chapter. Ah, okay, now we're in the perspective of Lakshin. Watching Yan's bag disappear behind the door, I recall how my younger brother disappeared from home many years ago. On that day, it was raining outside. I can still recall the sound of raindrops pelting down. A person's back is the saddest thing of all. Whenever I think of people I'd never see again, my last memories of them were always their backs. I have a premonition that Yan will never return, but I lack the courage to chase after him. I can only blankly stare at him as he leaves. Many years ago, I didn't have the courage to chase after my brother and pull him back. After he ran away, my parents and the police found him, or should I say, they found a soulless body of him. I wasn't able to accept what my brother had become. My brother is gone. His passion for life had been washed away on that rainy night. What's left at home is just a body, as if it's a tombstone that needs to be fed. I couldn't stand that feeling. I argued with them, shut myself in my room and wept, drowning myself in the madness of society. But everything in my vision remained grey, not only because I lost my precious brother, it's also because I realised my true self. I discovered the most disgusting part of my personality. I'd always known. I'd known why he had to run away. I know for a fact why he became like this, but I chose to ignore it. I was like a villain, killing and plundering, and then donated to charity to ease my guilt. My reminiscence of my brother is only a way for me to wipe away my sins. If every tragedy has a beginning, Then I must trace it back to Kiki. My brother was a fan of Kiki, ever since he started watching TV on my parents' lap. He had been particularly interested in Kiki. Whenever that woman with her sunglasses and out-of-fashion clothes spoke, my brother would clench his fists and wave it in the air, laughing with his mouth open. Years went by, and his smile became more mature. He was at school age. I already saw him play with other kids. He preferred to rewatch Kiki's tapes at home, but at school he wasn't alone. During that time there were many kids just like him. He formed a fan club with other classmates who also liked Kiki. They kept chatting about Kiki every day. He even became the chairperson of his little fan club, because nobody's more familiar with Kiki than him. He was so proud of himself at the time. His eyes glinted with confidence. School might be boring, and he had to help our parents in the fields, but he was happy. He was hopeful of the future. He'd prepared to go to the city and meet Kiki when he grew up. Our village is too small. Big names like her would never come here. He even brought a notebook to write down a detailed plan. But his dream was fated to never come true. Before he could fill out a whole notebook, Kiki quit her job, and her image went downhill. My brother's reaction was rather calm. He didn't cry, nor did he refuse to go to school. He only kept asking me, "Where's Kiki?" It's only until the new Kiki started showing up on TV was I able to answer his question. But he wasn't satisfied. "Who's she?" "That's not Kiki. Kiki doesn't look like that. The hairstyle's different, her voice is different, even the way she walks is different." "That's Kiki. See? Her name's written there. Kiki." "Then it's just another person called Kiki." Then he would look at me as if he was staring into a vacuum. "Where's Kiki?" I was at a loss for words. Like, how can we just change who is on the screen? Not long after, his class teacher came for a visit. That's when I found out he'd been asking everyone at school the same question. Everyone thought he'd gone insane. Some classmates started chiding him, but ultimately they realized it was best to just ignore him. My brother was isolated at school. When Kiki just retired, his classmates at the fan club were still his companions. But when the new Kiki arrived, everyone started talking about her instead. The club moved on. Only my brother was left behind. My class teacher told my parents the situation. My brother just listened with a blank expression. He never told us anything about this. I do understand. After all, kids do love last generation's Kiki. I hope he can move on eventually. I see. Actually, we feel bad too. Right, let's pull through this together. That's when my brother started complaining in my ears. "That's weird. What is he talking about? There's only one Kiki." I turned my head away, ignoring him on purpose. After that, I already spoke to him, because he didn't seem to care about our feelings. Honestly, I couldn't accept what had happened to Kiki either. In the past, I was always praised as a smart girl, and then I'd become just like Kiki. That all sounds so ridiculous now. As for my parents, they need to work in the fields at 7 in the morning and return for dinner at 7 in the evening every day. For them to be tortured by Kiki like that, it was unacceptable. But everyone was trying their best to support each other so they could return life to normal. The new Kiki worked really hard. She might appear less spirited than last generation's Kiki, but she didn't do anything wrong either. Why did my brother have to remain in that fake past, unable to escape? Why is it only him that's so mischievous? Because unfortunately some people are stuck in the past. I always thought my brother was selfish. He's the only male child. My parents spoiled him. I was forced to let him have all my treats. He liked to hide away his sweets, but he had a bad memory. The sweets he hid away would often rot and become mouldy. But even so, he refused to share it with me. He'd always been such a selfish person. When I think about it like that, I felt more comfortable inside. I ignored that selfish brother of mine. After a year I was in high school, and he was still isolated by his peers at school, as if time had stood still for the younger brother. But until that day, when news broke that last generation's Kiki had killed herself. When I heard the news, I was at school. My schoolmates all stared at each other in the corridor, but wouldn't say much. We were about to forget her. Why did she have to suddenly pop up and make such a sick joke? No words were spoken, but everyone was of the same mind. As I stumbled my way home, my brother was silently sitting in the living room. He was peering absent-mindedly into the distance. The TV was showing Kiki's recording. On the table was his worn-down notebook. I knew he cared much about Kiki than anyone else. He must have already known. Once he saw me, he turned his head around in a daze. He asked a question I'd already grown sick of hearing. Oh dear, where's Kiki? If your parents don't know, if your sister doesn't know, then why do you keep repeating the question? She's gone. She won't come back. He didn't say a word, his eyes glinting with tears. This scene triggered me. What are you crying about? Kiki's unique. She's gone. There won't be another Kiki. Kiki's still here. She's on TV. Why can't you just admit it? That's not her. She doesn't know it. Wow, really? That's a bit selfish of you, don't you? What do you mean by she doesn't know anything? For goodness sakes, she's acting as Kiki. She can't act like Kiki. Because she's not her. Enough. Why are you so stubborn? Can't you just face the facts? Do you really think we don't know she's not Kiki? His eyes were fixatedly staring at me. Everyone knows? Of course we know. But everyone's just forcing a lie on themselves and treat her as Kiki. Why? Because we can't go on like that. If we want to survive, we need to lie to ourselves. Why do you have to bring out the elephant in the room? You think this is funny? Can't you hold it in? We're all suffering. We're all tired after coming home. We just want to watch TV and see the lady in sunglasses with her stupid laugh. That's already enough. Don't you understand? He still couldn't understand. Oh no, this guy is more annoying than any other character. He stood up and wandered towards the door. At some point the rain began splattering down, enveloping his contours, reflecting a chilling glare. It's so cold outside. Of course it's cold. It shouldn't be this cold. Well then, close the door. It should be warm outside. My classmates, teacher, and sister, they all should be warm. Wow. And you think yourself as the warmest one. Are you saying I'm not a good sister? I cannot help but sneer. Our world is cold. You should grow up. Don't live inside your own fantasies. Okay. Is the younger brother a reincarnation of... So, is Aiju a reincarnation of the younger brother? One who's in denial of escaping their own fantasies? So, is the coldness more real, or the warmth more real to you? Do you understand? I regret immediately after saying those words. It seemed too harsh, and he was still young. He shouldn't be hearing those words. You will learn them one day, so it's better now than later. But it didn't feel wrong either. He remained silent before continuing to walk outside. Hey, take your fantasies with you. I grabbed the notebook and threw it to the door. Whoa. The notebook fell into the mud and mingled with his shadow. Where's... He kept speaking to himself. All he could leave for me was his back. At that moment I had lost my brother. It took me a while before I recalled. The day was my brother's birthday. I was never whole again after that. When my brother left, he had taken away a part of my soul with him. After that, I kept searching. I left home and came to the city. I applied to the TV station and auditioned for Kiki's role. All just to find that missing piece. This is a path I took as Mulixian. A path just appeared before me. However, I never thought I'd encounter such a coincidence along this path, or maybe it's a surprise. He's a person who's so similar to my brother, not just by name only. It felt like deja vu when he introduced himself at a convenience store. In his eyes I could see hidden memories deep inside of me. When my brother was a shut-in at home, his eyes also looked like his, steeled with resolve. I quickly understood that Yan didn't have many friends. He's alone and prefers to shut himself in, just like the snow globes he loves so dearly. Yan is a bit strange, like a cat who couldn't be tamed, but I wanted to approach him. I chatted with him on purpose, teasing, hoping I can leave a mark on his world. If I had to ask myself why, I probably wanted to tear out a part of him to fill up the hole in me, so I let him treat me as a sister, excusing myself as being older than him. I kept asking about his life, just like an elder sister. I lectured him when he made mistakes, and even threw a birthday party for him. I wanted to do everything that I wasn't able to for my own brother. But why did he have to leave? The shadow of Yan and my brother leaving are now overlapping against each other. Tears begin to flow from my eyes. But you gotta remember that Yan has a resolve. Your brother was left with an empty mindset, with only one thought, and one thought alone. Where's Kiki? I kneel down on the floor and begin to bellow. That door seems to be connected to the end of the universe, or it might be leading to the abyss of hell. Nobody ever went down there. I feel like I'd be exiled from this world just by staring at it. I tightly grip my fist, my nails digging deep into my skin. Get up. Agony is piercing through my brain, offering me a moment's respite. Get up, Mulexian. Just get up. I clench my teeth and raise my body, and then I use all my force to move forward. Darkness seems to be spreading out from behind the door, sucking away the last remaining courage left in me. I struggle to move my legs, like a baby that's learning to walk. Just a little bit more. My brain and my nerves are both refusing to follow orders, but I still manage to shift nearer to the door. This time, I really can't. A corrosive touch enters my hands. As I grab the door frames, I grip on it tightly, and then I plunge myself into the darkness shrouded behind the door. Darkness overwhelms me. The invisible force that was binding me vanishes in an instant, like a tug of war where everyone let go at once. My body plunges forward. My feet step on thin air, and my shoulder hits the icy cold floor, lastly my head. The floor isn't flat, it was all stairs. My body keeps rolling, my knees and elbows all bruised by the impact. When I finally stop rolling, my whole body is covered in bruises. I lie on the floor and start panting heavily. It hurts. I'm not sure how long I've been rolling down for, or where I've fallen to. I take a rest and try to lift my body up. A warm sensation is flowing on my face. I know it's blood, but I don't feel pain when a strange air is enveloping the surroundings. While I'm not totally awake, I still remember why I'm here. Yan! Yan, where are you? Yan, I'm looking for you! My cries keep reverberating aimlessly. They sound so hollow. Come to think of it, when Yan walked down, I didn't hear any loud impact. Yan didn't seem to be perturbed when he entered the door. He didn't fall down like me either. I sink deep into despair. I thought I could chase after him, but nothing seems to be going right. But I have to continue moving forward. This place is under the dim lights. I try to figure out where I am. Some sort of monastery. A long corridor stretches out before me, no different than what it looks like outside that door. The walls and ceilings all look ancient. Lights are flickering on both sides. Lights are not ancient, by the way. It reminds me of the eternal fires inside the legendary Dragon Palace. Which one? The carvings on the wall have all fallen apart. Holes have formed in some places. I might have fallen out from one of those holes. Some smooth, naked columns have been exposed. I gave them a tap, It feels like it's made of sturdy material. I can't fathom why they would have built something like this under the TV station. Rome didn't fall in a day. This place must have a history that spans over 100 years, or maybe a millennia. Can humans from a few millennia make this kind of structure? No. Were there already TV stations back then? Occasionally, murals appear on the wall. While covered in dust, it only took me a fleeting glance for my heart to be riled up in awe. I have a feeling that as long as I continue forward, I will meet Yan for sure. So the strange things that Yan's been talking about are real. He said that aliens have invaded Earth, enslaved the people on this island, preventing them from escaping. And that girl that claims herself to be a successor, she has preserved knowledge from an ancient civilization, preparing to save the world. No, that couldn't be. I shrug, containing the doubts in my mind, but I nearly screamed when I see what's before me. Before I could react, I thought I saw a shadow in the far corner. I walk over. They're loose clothes. I can't see clearly under the dim light, but it must have been an orange hue. Looks like an astronaut. I've seen such clothes on TV. Those are protective equipment worn by firefighters, or that. I instantly know why this uniform has been left in the open. But what is in the helmet? I feel my stomach turning over. I quickly cover my mouth. It's a skeleton. Ah, okay. Although the uniform is still in good condition, everything that's inside has already been eaten away by time. Even the skeleton seems to be turning into white powder, mixing with the air and floating into my nostrils. I quickly shrink back. I've never been so close to death before. I heard that monks will meditate in front of bodies, seeking enlightenment by observing how they rot away. Now I understand how insane that sounds. I regain my composure and continue to move forward. I spot more bodies on the way. They're all wearing the same uniform. They were all putting up a fight, rushing to the same destination. There are a few branching paths on the way, but the skeletons are leading me to one direction. Where were they planning to go? I can't imagine what's at the end of this path that's worth them to give up their lives. What era are these people from? There are a few hundred skeletons along the corridor. Somewhere in time, a few hundred people all died for the same purpose. The violence and barbarism from a bygone era are hitting me in the soul through these scattered skeletons. But something strange about a bunch of skeletons. I mumble to myself as I walk. Of course everything here is strange, but the thing I feel strange about is myself. Normally I would have run away when witnessing such terrible scenes, but now I am continuing to pace forward with resolve. That's when I realize I'm not normal anymore. Under this time-distorted, isolated realm, I've unknowingly become a little bit crazy myself. I shake my head and remind myself once again why I'm here. This place is dangerous. I must quickly find Yan. After walking for a while, I see another peculiar scene. A pure white corridor appears before me. There's not a hint that it has been worn down by time. A distant red line splits apart the light and shadows, forcibly assembling together items from different eras. The line appears so abrupt. Even the skeletons on the ground have come to a sudden halt, as if the struggles from a few thousand years ago have come to an end here. There are a few rows of typeface written in red, but I'm too occupied to delve into its meaning, because I can see the end of the corridor. The ancient ceilings on top of my head have ceased its spread. As I trace my vision up the towering walls, they appear an even taller, pitch-black underground space. Pockets of light streams out from deep in the darkness, shining a path before my feet. At the far end of the path, an archway rises from the ground, as if it's welcoming me since the dawn of time. Since the dawn of time. Is this the place I'm looking for? I'm not frightened by the darkness behind the door anymore. Instead, a rush of confidence sets in. Taking a deep breath, I pass through the door. Lights begin to illuminate my surroundings. And this is Pinhu Island. Tall archways spread along each side, constructing a hall that's immensely tall and wide. For a moment, I forgot I'm still underground. Gigantic sculptures are guarding the foot of the archway. The surroundings are filled with elegant carvings. I faintly remember what we learned in arts class. This hall looks like an ancient Greek temple, but it's much grander than the one in pictures. Because you're seeing it for real. A huge mural hangs at the center, showing a cover like the ones seen on a snow globe. It has floated between the ocean and the universe. The strokes are wild and vivid. For a moment I couldn't believe it was painted by humans. An island appears at the center. Its contours look so familiar. It is Pinhu Island. That is indeed Pinhu Island. Greetings, Mulixian. Snow Globe Terminal at your service. Who's that? Is someone here? My heart freezes as soon as I hear someone call out my name. That's when I notice a square rock podium in front of me, reminding me of an ancient altar. A box sits on top of the altar, surrounded by mottled marble and round-edged sculptures, offering deep contrast to the box's clear-cut edges. It seems to have heard me murmur to myself. The box, which was previously pitch black, is now glimmering with spots of light, as if it's breathing. When I focus my attention on the black box, I suddenly realize it is sitting at the center of the hall. My eyes catch the streams of light which are forming a logo in the air, like a hexagonal snowflake. The logo has the word Project Snow Globe surrounding it. There's also something written in foreign languages I don't understand. Snow Globe Terminal at your service. A machine that speaks. I've seen them in movies, and it doesn't feel out of place compared to what I've seen along the way. Maybe it can answer my questions. What's Project Snow Globe? Project Snow Globe is a series of projects constructed by the Human Alliance in order to fend off against extraterrestrial life forms. Project Snow Globe has restricted access. Wolfram level is required to access more information. What? That level? Wolfram level? Project Snow Globe has restricted access. Wolfram level is required to access more information. The black box only repeats itself after I ask it again a few times. Looks like I won't be able to get an answer, but it has piqued my curiosity. I recall what Yan had told me. There really are aliens. You are inquiring about extraterrestrial life forms. Extraterrestrial life forms are biological entities fundamentally different from any life forms found on Earth. Extraterrestrial life forms can affect humans' mental state and trigger insanity. In order to exile them, humans conducted warfare which spanned an extended period of time. So the aliens were real. Extraterrestrial life forms have restricted access. Sagan level is required to access more information. My whole body is shivering. What the black box is saying matches with Yan's testimony. It sounded ridiculous when it came from Yan's lips, but when it's coming from the black box, there's no authority steeled to it that I couldn't revoke. Then are there also some people who are genetically engineered and can fend against the aliens? You are inquiring about Project Harmoniant. Project Harmoniant uses biological engineering to eliminate humans' negative emotions. It is a project to eliminate the catalyst of insanity when a human comes into contact with extraterrestrial life forms. Due to technological and ethical difficulties, Project Harmoniant has been terminated. Project Harmoniant has restricted access. Penrose level is required to access more information. While what that black box says matches with Yan's, there are subtle differences. That girl called Aiju claims herself to be a successor, but the black box calls them Harmonians, and that project has already been terminated. But is that girl really a Harmonian? From Yan's description, Aiju seems to not suffer from any negative emotions. No wonder he likes her so much. A girl who smiles all day is prone to be liked by people around her. I can never be like her, but she can never be like you. When I think of that, rage fills up my body. Did my brother also get destroyed by a woman like that? I won't repeat the same mistakes again. I clench my teeth and remember the main purpose we're here. We're here to investigate the irregularities with the TV show Traveling with Kiki. Yan keeps saying there are distortions in the screen during the show. That's the way for aliens to brainwash us. From what I know, Yan's right. It seems like this black box is the culprit. But after listening to its explanation, it doesn't seem like aliens have created this. What are you? I am Pinhue Island's Snow Globe Terminal. I am an interface for administrators to effectively monitor and make adjustments to the Snow Globe system. Snow Globe Terminal has restricted access. Lane forward level is required to access more information. Terminal? That means you are created by humans to fend off aliens. Project Snow Globe has... Okay, wall frame. Oh gosh, we're back to this one again! The black box is now repeating itself robotically. I can only change the topic. Are aliens using TV shows to brainwash us? Pinhue Island's TV shows are broadcast by Pinhue TV station. There are a total of 20 channels, 308 TV shows. But they all show the same thing. I'm asking about KK's show. You are inquiring about Traveling with Kiki. Yes. Traveling with Kiki is a travel show created by Pinhue TV station. Its main host has a cheerful personality. Together with its variety of introduction to local culture and attractions, it has garnered popularity amongst the populace. Traveling with Kiki has restricted access. Wall frame level is required to access more information. I never thought I couldn't even get an answer for this. Though disappointed, I see something's not right. Wait, did you say wall frame level? Isn't that the same access level as Project Snow Globe? How come KK and Project Snow Globe have the same access level? Isn't that the same level as info about aliens? That again. Very interesting. It's very interesting that both of them have the same levels. Very bizarre. Tell me quick, what the heck is wrong with Kiki? This again. Weren't you created by humans? Aren't you supposed to serve humans? How many years have you been waiting? Your access levels are out of date. Nobody else is coming here. You could just take your dumbass access levels and turn into junk. The black box lights appear dimmer. Only my screams are reverberating in the hall. Honestly, I'm going to become KK's actress soon. If you're going to keep being so tight-lipped, I'm going to destroy your project for sure. Don't underestimate me, and don't doubt my resolve. I'm actually the one who hates this stupid show the most. A low moan is echoing from my surroundings, as if an invisible giant is deeply pondering in front of me. Suddenly, my eyes become momentarily blinded, as a bright light sweeps across my body, piercing my skull, making me feel as if I've become naked. And then the scenery in the hall has substantially changed. What the hell? That is not right. That's not right whatsoever. Becoming hypnotized. And there's text in different languages. The walls between the archways have disappeared, but what appears isn't the underground corridors, but a sky full of stars. You could also call it space. Your access level has been updated. Lane forward level granted. Greetings, my Luxian. Snow Globe Terminal at your service. I'm not sure if it's just my imagination, but a black box's toners seems to have become gentler. Did I break it? Why did I suddenly get granted this weird lane-forward access? My brain is totally confused, but I still have to ask that question. Okay, let me ask you again. What is Project Snow Globe? Project Snow Globe is a series of projects okay, we've already done that. Okay, here we go. This is new. Near the end of the extraterrestrial exile war, 80% of the globe's landmass had been controlled by extraterrestrial life forms. Populations decreased by 90%. So, that barrier across Penhu Island isn't a way for the aliens to control us. It's a way for the aliens to not go near us. Humans were encountering setbacks against their enemies. From conventional to nuclear weapons, they were unable to provide effective damage against them. Humans that were affected by extraterrestrial life forms were mixed in with ordinary humans, substantially destroying the social fabric of human society. We lacked information about our enemies, and we were unable to find a pathway for victory. The black box kept describing a tragedy that happened in ancient times, but all I can do is to imagine what happened through code in different figures. The only advantage we have was that time is on our side. Even if we cannot defeat extraterrestrial life forms within a few decades, we can still allow humans to survive. It is essential that we reverse engineer the extraterrestrial life forms' abilities and human mental state, invest all effort in informatics and neuroscience to search for an effective method to defeat them. We would eventually win in the future. For the continuity of humankind, we created Project Snow Globe. So what exactly is this project? Project Snow Globe uses various methods to protect humans. Firstly, we constructed protective shields surrounding human settlements, which blocks electromagnetic waves transmitted by extraterrestrial life forms. I recall the mural I just saw and the night sky I see when I raised my head. For a moment, I couldn't believe that such a gigantic construction could ever have taken place. Protective shield? What kind of protective shield? The protective shields of Project Snow Globe are hemispheres with radii from tens to hundreds of kilometers, constructed with extremely delicate metal cords. Using the surface tension created by nanobots, the protective shields can maintain stability for a few hundred years. When sunlight shines down, the protective shield's reflective gaze on their exteriors remains humans on the snow globes, therefore the project's name. But the projective shields also prevented residents inside from communicating externally. Therefore, there is a terminal in every settlement, independently controlling the system. If anyone attempts to trespass the protective shields and transmit information to the outside, it could cause extraterrestrial life forms to invade us, jeopardizing the safety of our residents. That is why we forbid residents from possessing wireless communication devices. The air keeps projecting various images of elaborate electrical equipment. I've never seen these items before. Mobile phones. Are these all communication devices? Technological products from back then? Not only do we restrict the usage of wireless communication devices, we also need to restrict sources of knowledge. This is the second part of Project Snow Globe. Through restrictions set up in various educational institutions and publishers, we have restricted technological knowledge to 20th century level, which makes sense. 20th century? Yeah, the 1900s. No way, that's like medieval. That's not medieval times. That means not only did you restrict us from communicating with the outside world, you don't even allow technology to advance. Why do you have to control things like this? Will humans really go and communicate with the aliens themselves? The black box suddenly flickers with a bright light, as if it's laughing at me. Humans seek ultimate freedom. which is to seek the right to freely interpret the meaning of freedom. A communication device for residents under the snow globe system is like a nuclear launch button. We cannot allow humans to be in possession of such a dangerous item, because ordinary people would not uphold the greater good. Before the project was complete, some humans tried to communicate with friends from outside. Unbeknownst to them, their friends have become possessed by extraterrestrial life forms. Some see extraterrestrial life forms as their saviors, and created new religions, and even actively attempted to expose our location. Some, because of arguments, who were pushing to a corner, hoped to be annihilated together with their rival. Their rival? The black box momentarily pauses. This is their interpretation of freedom. Even though we believe that the majority of humans have high integrity and will not commit to actions that are detrimental to others, there's always the minor few that will look for an opening. It only takes one accident to forever lose a seed to civilization. We cannot allow that risk. Humans seek freedom, but such freedom clashes with the principles that we must execute, which is to allow human civilization to survive. That is why we must restrict human freedom, in exchange for the continuity of human civilization. How is that continuity of civilization? You set back civilization by hundreds of years. The side products created by, via Project Snow Globe have already entered the daily lives of our residents. Nanobots that were used for surgeries are now the foundation of modern industries. Using nano-engineering holography, we have completely preserved all human heritage from the past thousands of years, preventing it from being lost in the war. This is history. This is a foundation for the continuity of human civilization. I always think that looking back is the best way to not go forward. We have entered the second renaissance, improved humans' spiritual well-being. Every resident receives 12 years of free education, learn about culture and arts, and contributes to the harmony of society. Then why don't you teach us about technology? Because we are concerned that humans will rediscover wireless devices. While the black box is speaking in a robotic voice, I can make out there's a hint of awe in its tone. There will always be geniuses among humans. They will one day be able to discover the unthinkable. Geniuses from the past invented magnetism, and wireless devices. In the future, some will invent them again. In order to prevent wireless devices from leaving our grasp, we hope humans can voluntarily refrain from researching it. That is why we constructed the third part of this Project Snow Globe, and that is the television network that comprises all human settlements. Via 250,000 sets of televisions which are installed with bioelectric sensors, with complete monitoring over every aspect of human life. Through TV shows, we release subconscious signals to prevent residents from becoming interested in restricted knowledge. Based on the development of complex systems science in the past 100 years, we have successfully controlled human society on a macro level. That is not the only function of TV shows. During the early stages, residents suffered from mental instability, yes. Many people thought their freedom was infringed upon and started hating the television maintenance crew. At that time, Painhue Island had a dozen homicides every day and nearly 300 robberies. These people attacked police, destroyed public facilities, and disturbed public peace. They shouldn't do that either. It is ironic. We are trying to protect humans from extraterrestrial life forms, but humans are killing each other and destroying themselves. Most importantly, when human emotions are violently shaken up, it can be easily manipulated by extraterrestrial life forms. When one is angered, confused, lost in their ways, they are very easily manipulated. led astray because it might be their only hope of survival. After analysis, we discovered that the origins of this violence is because humans are unable to communicate with the external world. Humans needed space. When that space is limited, that causes anxiety, claustrophobia. So you have to let us watch Traveling with KK. Traveling with KK is a TV show we created to improve the situation. Besides the real sceneries that are filmed, we have also added in signals to soothe the brain. I was supposed to smooth the brain. Residents who are unable to travel can appreciate the scenery during KK's travels to make them relax. Relax? I don't feel relaxed about it at all. Simultaneously, by transferring the source of stress, we allow residents to maintain a certain degree of anxiety, so as to not trigger an invasion by extraterrestrial life forms. The hologram starts showing countless images of parents and children arguing, and bosses and employees hating each other. I could nearly hear them arguing, as I've encountered these situations so many times before. You made this happen too? We can never eliminate all negative emotions from human beings. In order to prevent them from accumulating, we transfer the source to various candidates. What candidates? People who they cannot fight against or commit violence against. Hearing what the black box just said, I felt cold water was just splashed onto my head. So you transfer all the anxieties towards their parents and towards their bosses. How could you do such a thing? You don't have the right to dictate how they live. Facts prove that Project Snowglobe is a success. In the past 100 years, the crime rate for Pinhu Island has been maintained at 0%. Most importantly, Pinhu Island has not faced any massive invasion from extraterrestrial life forms. Although we restricted human freedom, that is a cost to protect them. In the past millennia, human society has been restricted in various forms, from chieftains, slave owners, kings, dictators, presidents to the snow globe system. Humans have never achieved ultimate freedom. I am at a loss for words. Maybe it's because I'm in silence. Its tone suddenly changes. In fact, Project Snowglobe is showing its limitations. In the war against extraterrestrial life forms, humans have maintained a defensive position. We still have not discovered a method to win the war. Under a peaceful environment, war preparedness is at all-time lows. The nuclear energy required to drive the project is also deteriorating. Every night, when we adjust the signals to control human life traces, we experience electricity shortage. We only have a limited time left, that is why we want to select capable residents to lead the whole project again. We selected a few people and have them make contact with the terminal. Are you saying me? As the actress for KK, you have so far exhibited the best potential among the residents. Previously, we already made contact with an actress of KK. Wait, are you telling me the last generation, 11th generation of KK? My heart tightens. She's the culprit for making Yan run away from home. No, that's not right. The Yan I'm looking for is now in the underground chamber. My mind is a mess. But her mental capability was not enough. After introducing some information about Project Snowglobe, her mental state was in deep shock. So it's all because of you that she killed herself. We cannot deny that. The 12th generation KK was an even greater disappointment. She did not even realize we existed. Your performance has been much better. You now have long-field access level. Project Snowglobe will take into account your suggestions in the future. You mean me? Yes, you have authority to provide suggestions on our decisions. We will take your suggestions into account over the optimality of our decisions. In fact, You are the most capable among all generations of Kikai. After understanding the power I've been burdened with, I take a deep breath. Okay, if I tell you to give up on the project, will you listen to me? Don't control us anymore. Don't push people over the cliff. Don't eliminate emotions. We will take into account your suggestion, but we need to clarify. We are not eliminating residents' negative emotions. We are just leading them to express them through appropriate channels. Eliminating negative emotions has already proven to be the wrong method. Wrong method? Wait, I remembered you talk about the successors. In the early days of Project Snowglobe, the Human Alliance established Project Harmoniant at the same time. Extraterrestrial lifeforms triggered human insanity, and Project Harmoniant tried to fundamentally prevent this from happening. Based on the harmonicity of the human emotion model, using genetic engineering and nanosurgeries, we created a new kind of humans without negative emotions. Why do you say it's the wrong path? After the first generation of harmonic entered society, the Human Alliance realized it was not working according to expectations. We wanted to create warriors capable of fending off extraterrestrial lifeforms, but the Harmonians were particularly vulnerable to them. We thought it was the extraterrestrial lifeforms that are causing human insanity, but later research indicated this was not the case. Insanity was generated under the joint effects of extraterrestrial lifeforms and human minds, similar to immune reactions. Extraterrestrial lifeforms have a kind of symbiotic relationship. They can implant themselves into humans' mental state and control humans. And insanity is a way for humans to defend against the invasion. Then Harmonians are effectively humans whose mental immunity is removed. They do not have negative emotions, so even if they experience something painful, they cannot express it. A life form like that will not put up any resistance against extraterrestrial life forms and be controlled directly. Indeed, a perfect person will not go insane, but in contrast, is being insane really a bad thing? We're humans. When we're in pain, we go insane. Harmonians are also humans. When they're in pain, they can't even go insane. They can't even cry. Isn't that worse? When aliens try to invade our conscious and control us, of course we'll resist until we go insane. Even if our brains become a muddled jelly, we cannot give our bodies away. But Harmonians aren't perfect humans. They don't have negative emotions. They can't even resist mental invasion. There's so many things that have been said, but it's all the same thing, but it's just paraphrased a lot. That is why the Human Alliance cancelled Project Harmoniant. What happened to the Harmonians? We recalled the first generation of Harmonians and hibernated them. They are now under our protection. For ethical reasons, we will not dispose of them, but we cannot allow them to walk freely because they are a potential risk from extraterrestrial invasion. When humans have defeated the extraterrestrial lifeforms, then Harmonians can re-enter society. But my colleague, he met a Harmoniant. Oh. The black box started sparkling in a strange light. You are inquiring about Tanyan. We have noticed Tanyan's daily routine has been disrupted. He has made contact with a suspicious character named Aiju. In fact, we cannot guarantee that all Harmonians have entered hibernation. Before the snow globe system was completed, new Harmonians might have been born. That is why we have been closely monitoring any suspects that might be Harmonians. But Aiju's activity has been limited at the edge of the city, evading our surveillance. From analysing Aiju's interaction with Tanyan, Aiju obviously has the power to affect humans' mental state. My mind is in a daze upon hearing it say that. Everything is twisted. So Aiju is the real enemy. She's been controlled by aliens and is deceiving Yan. You mean Yan has been controlled? from 27 days ago, Tanyan has continuously violated social norm. He gave us his stable job, and gave up on his colleagues and friends, only to befriend a girl he just met. He engaged in criminal activities such as theft and stowaway. This is a sign that we need to remain highly cautious. Objectively speaking, his actions are close to insanity. But he only thinks that girl is naive and pities her. An ordinary girl cannot have such powerful charms. We believe this is a form of disguise, a seduction skill with the aim of appeasing him. The lights from the stars are enveloping the hall. The light is so blinding and so cold. The black box seems to be enjoying how pale I look. How could this be? We can confirm. Tanyan is already controlled by extraterrestrial life forms. He is trying to destroy the snow globe system. It has proven ineffective to lead him back mentally. We need to remain highly cautious when we are in contact with him, and prevent him from conducting any violent acts. Then, what should I do? Please stretch out your hands. Confused, I stretch out my hands. A black smoke appears out of thin air and extends my surroundings like blood flowing. And then I feel something heavy in my hands. It's a pair of glasses. It is estimated that in 3 minutes, Tanyan will be here. We will help you negotiate with him. I immediately put on the glasses. And this... Oh, my life. What kind of B-rated junk film is this? Intertwined. Now goes to Downfall. Take a look at yourself. Make a change. I feel dizzy. I wipe away the sweat oozing from my forehead as I murmur to myself. That definitely was a revelation itself. Like the very thing that was trying to destroy is the thing that is protecting us. I thought that was the case. Like I even thought to myself in the previous episode that we should destroy it, but why is that protective barrier there in the first place? Is it the aliens ensnaring us, or it's preventing the aliens from invading us? Not long ago, I walked through the door under the TV station and entered the hidden underground facility. Now I'm walking along a corridor with no end in sight. The corridor slopes mildly downwards. Walls are crumbling, showing their age. However, even in this state of neglect, the lights still shine brightly along the walls. The lights keep flickering and unsettle me, as if they are peeking into my thoughts. Could this also be the aliens trying to brainwash me? I put myself on guard. Asia and I have already discovered the distortions inside the TV program. I won't fall into their traps so easily again. Oh, little do you know, if Lakshin comes here, she'll probably lose her mind. The deeper I go, the more uncanny the place becomes. The humid chill in the air is replaced by suffocating hotness, forcing me to drink most of the mineral water I was carrying in my backpack. If my body runs out of water, I might not be able to think properly. I make periodic stops along the way to draw a map. I recount my footsteps to estimate the distance, but I have a feeling that map in the notebook isn't accurate. Places where there should have been walls are suddenly accessible after a few turns, and places where a door should have been is now a dead end. Are the walls moving? At first I thought this was ridiculous, but I've let go of my common sense in this place that reeks of weirdness. My chest keeps thumping, my mind's in a daze. Looks like I'm too anxious, this will only use up my energy. Weird. This place is so weird. My voice keeps resonating along the spacious corridor. The frequent echoes are driving me mad. But I can't go mad. I can't turn back now. I need to find out the truth. The truth about Painhue Island. The mystery behind the TV shows. Evidence of aliens. And the secret to Painhue Island. I haven't found anything yet. As I keep pondering, I suddenly see something conspicuous lying in front of me. A cold chill creeps into my body as I see the contours of that object. They were all heading towards the same direction. They were struggling to move forward and collapsed along the way. Did they all die in this maze? Will I become like this? This isn't a good sign. If I panic now, I'm just going to waste my energy and water. I pull myself together and continue to walk forward. Not long after, symbols appear on the walls. Although it's covered in ancient dust, the symbols attract my attention. I walk over and notice a door. I repeatedly rub on the door's surface. Look at a symbol, it feels like deja vu. It's a snowflake. I've seen this somewhere before. Where have I seen this? Snow globe? My murmur keeps reverberating in the deep end of the corridor, like faint sobbings in the shape of needles piercing into my spine. The sound keeps stimulating my memories. Ah, okay. When I saw this symbol, someone was crying. The wailing sound echoing around my ears is becoming clearer. I can even hear paper being torn apart. Right. I was asking Aishu to clean up the wall and tore apart the map she drew. This is... My heart shivers. I've seen this symbol inside Aishu's diary. The map I just drew in my notebook is similar to the one she showed me. So this is where she was born. If her memories are correct, then there must be a secret hidden behind the door. I push the door, but it won't budge. Okay, you don't want me to see what's behind these walls, right? Then I have to see it for sure. I raise my voice towards the corridor. The person who's behind this must be listening. I put down my backpack and zip it up tightly, and then I forcibly swing it at the door. The sound of a roaring impact bounces off every corner. My backpack zips is damaged after a few hits, but food and water are all scattered on the floor. I pick up everything and tuck them behind into the backpack, increasing its weight. I have no time to think what's inside the bag, or else how much energy I've left. I keep swinging my backpack. The door finally cracks. I switch on my torch and peek through the gap. Aha! Behind the wall stands columns of giant cans. There are various machines installed, wires and tubes are scattered across them. There seems to be shadows lurking inside the cans, but I can't see clearly under the darkness. So this is where the successors were born. Aishu said she was genetically engineered, and she could fend off aliens. So did humans from the past build this facility? Why are there so many bodies along the corridor? What happened here? I recall Aishu told me successors don't have any supernatural powers. They aren't smarter than ordinary people either. They're only able to fend off the aliens' mental control, really. The successors were tasked by humans to save the world, and her life was turned into a living hell. If Aishu was just an ordinary human being, she would have been happier. When I think about that, I'm unable to think fondly of these ancient people. I lose the courage to continue hitting the door. I reorganize my backpack and continue walking forward. More skeletons appear on the ground. I don't want to see them, so I start running. Finally, I arrive at the end of the corridor and enter a wide and brightly lit hall. In the middle of the hall stands a familiar figure. However, oh, I didn't expect her to be here. Lachian? My hands shiver and my torch slips away from my hand, hitting the ground. Are we truly the ones controlled by aliens? Or is she now the one controlled by aliens? Wasn't she waiting for me outside? Why is she here? How did she get ahead of me? But the thing that shocks me the most is the black object covering her eyes, like countless tiny worms protruding out from her eyes. Those worms are moving on her face, like blood seeping out from her eyes and lips. Her lips quiver, letting out an eerie laugh. That demonic smile seems to be stained with blood. Yan, I've been waiting for so long. She greets me as if we're at a convenience store, but her voice is hers. Together with that seductive and coyish smile, I'm unable to figure out what to do. Why are you here? Are you okay? I realise I haven't spoken to you for a long time. Come here, let's have a good chat. She starts laughing as she speaks. I take a step back. She seems to be speaking to me, but I cannot make out where her eyes are looking. Why has Luxian suddenly become so strange? Is it because of that black object on her face? Luxian, wake up! Quick, get rid of that thing on your face! Yan, that won't do. Her voice suddenly becomes as cold as ice. It's this thing that allowed me to see the truth. I can't take it off. Don't you also want to know the truth? I can tell you everything. This is the Snow Globe Terminal. It's a machine created by humans to protect humans. That's when I see the black box sitting on the table beside Luxian. The black box keeps flicking a suspicious bright light as that thing on Luxian's face keeps squirming around. No, we're here to investigate how KK's show can brainwash us. Don't tell me you've been brainwashed. Brainwashed? Oh, you're talking about this? It's only helping to alleviate our stress. We're just trying to prevent everyone from accumulating too many negative emotions and turning violent. If it were not for this, the aliens would have invaded us, and everyone would have gone insane. Yan, you should thank it. I am utterly confused by what she's saying. I want to take a closer look, but recall upon sensing the atmosphere she's exuding. What's that? Is that what got us brainwashed? If it's trying to protect humans, then how come it brainwashed us? What kind of suspicious things has it done? While it's suspicious, the Snow Globe system is only here to protect everyone. As Luxian keeps uttering nonsense, I recall how the people looked like when they were watching TV. She also said some strange things while watching TV the other night. A hypothesis begins to surface in my mind. I see. So that's the alien. Luxian momentarily holds her breath. That black box is the alien, right? Or should I say, it's created by aliens to control us. It's this thing that distorted the TV shows, brainwashed us, and made us their slaves? Listen to me. The Snow Globe Terminal was created by humans, not aliens. You don't have to tell me that. I already noticed. Everything on this island is strange. They watched KK every day. Whenever they watched KK, they forgot about everything else. Every day they're just quarreling. Parents argue with their kids and employees get chided by their bosses. See? That's what the aliens want. We're so occupied that no one notices the aliens exist. That kind of happens. But it's for their own good. It's to help us let out steam. For our own good? Is that really for our sake? But none of us are happy. Luxian, you're being brainwashed. You've been brainwashed. Am I the one who's been brainwashed? Luxian suddenly interrupts me. Her voice is calm, but under that calmness, a storm is brewing. Yan, you're not listening. Are you afraid that what I'm about to say will expose your lies? Before you decide whether everyone's happy, you should consider if everyone can survive. We're at war with the aliens. This is about survival of the human race. You also believe in the war? The Snow Globe system is the last refuge of defending against the aliens. We lost too much in this war. That's why we're hiding on this island, trying to preserve our civilization. Your boat can't go that far away from the island because we can't let the aliens discover us. This is for our own sake. Then what is this underground hall? What are those strange things floating in the air? Aren't those alien technologies? Why did I see snow fall outside while we're on the ship with Aishu? Is that the aliens doing? Humans created this. But we don't need to understand the technology as long as the Snow Globe system protects us. The Snow Globe system has been protecting us for hundreds of years. They're doing all of this so that humanity can survive. Now 1,000 pair of eyes seems to have grown out of Luxian and are glaring at me. Interesting. Let me tell you again who that Aishu really is. What? Aishu? Asia is a harmoniant created by ancient humans. Those harmoniants were engineered to be devoid of negative emotions. They originally thought that could prevent alien control, and they could become the ultimate saviors of us humans. But people with no negative emotions turn out to be more prone to alien control. When ordinary people come into contact with humans, they go insane, but harmonians can't even go insane. That's why the Asia you know is already controlled by aliens. You're the one who's being controlled. She's trying to lure you into destroying the snow globe system. You're already seduced by her and can't tell right from wrong. What she's talking about? I don't understand. Wait, no. What could it be? I just don't want to understand. How could that be? I've known her for so long. She's pure. She's innocent. I've seen it with my own eyes. She's pure. She's innocent because she's unable to know about any negative emotions. She doesn't know how to have negative emotions, so therefore she fits the bill of a harmoniant perfectly. How could she be an alien? I was suspicious about Aiju and thought she was lying. I thought she was just trying to hide her tragic past and made up a fantasy to escape from her reality. But I already saw that she's not lying. Aliens have controlled human transportation. There's a secret hidden under the TV station. These are all facts. Ever since then, I've treated her as my companion. We support and walk alongside each other. She's just an ordinary girl, but someone burdened her with the task of saving the world. Now I can only feel rage rushing out of my chest. I cannot allow anyone to say bad things about her. She couldn't stand it anymore. I need to help her. Help her? How? Don't you know where she's from? Do you know how old she is? She already knows so many secrets. How can she be so innocent? Besides, you trust her. Someone you don't know, but not me? I freeze. Lakshin's questions keep charging me like a barrage of bullets. Time seems to have come to a momentary stop. I'm unable to move, but very quickly it starts flowing again. Yan, think about it. Why did you come to the TV station? Is it out of your own will? Or did someone tell you to come here? I was planning to leave the island, but the ship circled around the island and returned. Aishu told me it's because you cannot receive electromagnetic waves outside the island. That's why I thought the secret might be hidden inside the TV station. Lakshin lets out a sigh. She tilts her ears as if she's listening to something. Electromagnetic waves? Really? What's that? I heard it's something like the candle light. The further away, the weaker it becomes. It also has to be transmitted from somewhere up high. The only tall structure on this island is the TV station. Really? And who told you that? Aiju told me. Is she wrong? I didn't say she's wrong. But ordinary people won't know about electromagnetic waves, because the snow globe system places restrictions on this kind of knowledge. If any random person can transmit electromagnetic waves to the outside world, then it could put us in danger by luring aliens to come here. How can we allow her to know of such things? But she's not an ordinary person. She's a successor. She's a harmoniant. You see, although she has a lot of knowledge, she lacks common sense. Doesn't that mean she's an alien? No. I even saw her birthplace just then. There were a lot of glass cans, and there were people inside them. There were machines as well, and the walls were moving like a maze, not allowing me to see it. I had to break the door to see it. That's why this human base is already occupied by aliens. Lakshin stops for a moment, her face glimmering with peculiar sparks. She seems to be communicating with a black box. This is still a human base. The walls can't move. The snow globe system can't do such strange things. The underground chamber has many floors. You probably got lost. but there indeed exists such a place. People like Asia are too dangerous. That's why we locked them up inside. Locked them up? No, Asia told me that that's where she was born. She drew a map of that place. It's the same as what I saw. Could she have drawn that map on purpose for you to see? I want to rebuck, but I'm at a loss for words. Yan, you've really been brainwashed. She had you fooled before you even came here. The mysterious voice. I'm unable to answer her. For now, I can trust my own judgment. Asia is a companion, we support each other. You had doubts, right? You tried to ignore it, but it must have been painful to do so. Because you don't want to doubt her. She's your emotional support. I remain silent and close my eyes. Hi, I'm Asia. I'm here to save the world. We have to liberate humans from the aliens' chains. I'm always worried that you'll suddenly vanish. I'll be lonely if I eat all by myself. The same goes for you as well. Don't you dare control me. Let me wash my face first. A stream of montages of the times I spent with Asia keep reading before me. When I try to doubt everything and believe that everything is fake, my heart feels pain. I stay silent. Countless thoughts keep running through my mind, but I'm still unable to convince myself. There is nothing as fragile as true happiness, but it's built on a series of assumptions, and my doubt keeps growing. Yeah, you're right. I pant heavily. Asia is an alien. This is a possibility. But according to your logic, the black box might be an alien too. If the black box has such powers, shouldn't it be easy to make up a story to fool you? How much do you know about the box? How can you tell if it hasn't already brainwashed you? It's not an alien. It's here to protect us humans. Can't you see Painhue Island hasn't been destroyed? Aren't we all still living peacefully? Who says the aliens want to destroy us? Maybe their goal is to control us and have us live the way we are now. Who can guarantee that? And did you just say we're living peacefully? A life where everything is controlled by this heck box? Is that the peaceful life you're talking about? I know there's no use arguing with her. There is consciousness lurking around that's controlling Luxian. The answer I'm seeking lies in it. I want to tear away that thing on her face, but it seems to be stuck there. I dare not do anything rash. That's why I steer my clear towards the black box. There's the alien. We should destroy it. Aha, I pick up my bulky backpack. Right, the people who died outside died because of that thing. They all tried to fight back against the alien. The black box couldn't kill them itself, so they trapped them inside a maze. The whole TV station is a huge maze. I'll be avenging them if I destroy it. Yeah, because she was suddenly pulled here, whereas our character was just suddenly walking down. Sorry, was just casually walking down rather than suddenly walking down. He was suddenly, he was walking down, whereas she was dragged down. Like, the black box noticed her presence and didn't present the door in front of her. I'll be avenging them if I destroy it. Luxian once again tilts her head. I can't hear any voice, but the thing on her face keeps worming around. Yan, the death of these people was a necessary sacrifice. The snow globe system once suffered outage. They sacrificed themselves to fix it. They are heroes of humanity, okay. Ever since then, there hasn't been any lethal defense mechanism in the base, but no one trespassed either. Trespassing into this base is a crime. Why would you believe in this nonsense? What outage? How could they let so many people die? because we didn't have any other choice. Over 13 billion? How far into the future is this game? Have been killed in this war. In this era, death is of course a terrible thing, but their sacrifice was essential. Seeing her like that, I feel hopeless. I quickly walk forward, wanting to break this terrible black box. Greetings, Tanyan. At this moment, a cold voice echoes in the hall. There seems to be something lurking inside the box, peeking at me from within the darkness. This is Pinhue Island's snow globe terminal. We are currently controlling 250,000 TV sets which are broadcasting Traveling with Kiki. The inhabitants' mental state requires careful collaboration. If the terminal is destroyed, over 600,000 inhabitants' mental state will suffer incalculable damage. Luxian is standing there, frozen on her spot as the black box speaks. It is widely perceived that the law does not condemn the masses. As long as one resident goes insane and commits violence, then the whole of Pinhue Island will descend into anarchy. This will in turn lead to an alien invasion, destroying a seed to human civilization and even threaten the safety of other settlements. Do you have such rights? Have you considered the outcome of all the options? Outcome of all the options? Is that how you think? Calculate all options and then choose the safest bet? How many people have been controlled? How many people are in pain? Are these all just numbers to you? There are things that cannot be crunched into numbers. There are things that cannot be compromised. Yeah, that is compromise, right? Promise. Compromised. Anarchy. Human civilization destroyed? You make it sound so scary. But isn't it already scary like this? Everyone's chilling in silence, turning to zombies. Isn't that scary? Luxian, you really think everyone's happy? Think about our lives. We wake up at 7 every morning, work for 10 hours, go home and watch TV, and then sleep. It is the same monotonous cycle. The ratio of work, entertainment and sleep is 10-6-8. That is the most effective way and the best way of life. We all take the tram and buy food from the convenience store at the same time. We even watch KK at the same time. Providing public services at a fixed schedule can help reduce the snow globe system's required processing power. I keep repeating the same work at the store, day after day, so I can make some money. I have to endure Mr. Chow's chiding every day, and can't have my own thoughts, wasting away my youth. I often feel lost. So what if I can earn money? Earning money is just to survive, but don't I still have to work after I survive? Young people are capable of enduring negative emotions, while older people have grown immune to the TV's effects. That's why we need to take care of our elders' well-being first, because they are more in line of mental satisfaction. Young people have to leave their homes and work in the city. They're unable to accomplish anything, and don't want to go home either, so their relationship with their parents gets worse. My parents don't understand me. I don't understand them either. Are we still a family? We transferred some of the conflicts to within the family. Society can remain stable as families don't commit violence against each other. What you said are all methods to control and suppress us. Society is stable, but what about human feelings? After I met Heiju, I finally felt what it's like to be alive. We're only living if we can think for ourselves and seek answers ourselves. You know nothing. For us to survive, there must be constraints. Must be people to govern us. Leave that to the specialists. Know your place. It's always been like this. This is human nature. For so many years, the snow globe system has been governing us. What have you done yourself? Can you still survive if you destroy it? How are you going to fend off the aliens, sorry? How can you make sure everyone survives? Right. We need constraints. There's no absolute freedom. That's for survival, as well as a stable society. But how things are now, even the freedom of thought is being taken away from us, then what freedom do we still have? Are we even still living? If I don't destroy the black box, then how different are we from a living corpse? That's why I'm making this bet. I'm betting my everything that this black box is alien. I don't know if the odds are in my favor. We might even go extinct. But if I win this bet, then we can truly live. Then there are countless futures for the humanity. I hold my breath and rush forward, lifting up my bag and smash it towards the black box. I don't know what kind of sound it's emitting from my surroundings, but it's red nonetheless. What the heck? All I'm doing is to keep smashing, hitting the black box. But does it keep regenerating? The shattered pieces of the black box keep turning into black smoke and recondense, glimmering with light. I keep smashing it, refusing to cease. The more complex the device, the more delicate it is. It won't be able to withstand the impact. I continue to hit it, as if every single stress in my body is being alleviated and dissipated at this moment. There's a siren sounding from afar. Explosions and alarms are mingling together. The whole building is shaking, as if a dam has been breached for this place, which has stood frozen in time. Gosh. Luxian looks like her soul just jumped out of her body. It's over. It's all over. There won't be Kiki anymore. It's gone. For all these years, I worked so hard on my job and internship, and finally had a chance to become Kiki. But now, that's all gone to waste. Even though I know the truth, there's no meaning anymore. I only want him to get hold of himself. Luxian keeps murmuring. It's the story about her brother, where she didn't get to finish last time. He couldn't accept that Kiki killed himself. Now he's living like a zombie. Maybe if I become Kiki, he can come back to himself. That's my responsibility as a sister. But there's no Kiki anymore. There won't be anymore. Wait. I interrupt her. Her face is full of confusion, so I raise my voice. Let me confirm. Your brother's still healthy physically. He only has some mental issues. He became like this because he was mentally shocked. Yes, it's a mental illness. Then how come you think he won't get better if you don't become Kiki? In the end, he just couldn't accept Kiki killed herself. That was back when he was at middle school. But he's now an adult. He should have learned to accept it. Maybe he can get through this tomorrow and stand back up himself. Have you spoken to your parents? Maybe he's already back at school. He's been like that for so many years. Then it doesn't mean he'll be like this forever. Maybe he just needs some time, or a trigger, a catalyst. You don't know. Every time I see him, he's sitting in front of the TV looking at my sleeves. He won't answer even if I speak to him, like he's dead. Luxian, whenever you mention your brother, you make it sound as if it's all over. But he's still alive. There are still countless possibilities. He's not dead yet. His life isn't over. Who's killing off those possibilities? Isn't it you? Luxian still wants to argue, but I shake my head. Everyone walks their own path. Even if you're his sister, you don't need to decide everything for him. You see, it's the same for all humans. Why would you rather the black box dictate your decisions and not believe that you can find a solution yourself? Luxian begins to whimper softly. It's like if the curse is breaking. You dare make such a bet. But I don't have the courage. I'm scared. I'm scared my brother will always be like this. I'm also scared humans won't have a future and will be destroyed by aliens. Don't be scared. Believe in yourself. and also humanity. How could there be no future? There are countless possibilities for the future. Dust begins to fall down from the ceiling, followed by crumbling rocks. I extend my hand towards Luxian, but she pushed it away. I can't believe. Do you know what will become of the future if things go on like this? The snow globe system has calculated countless possibilities, and every single one of them is despairing. All the stress will come out, there will be violence and bloodshed everywhere, and then aliens will destroy us. What's the point of living in such a future? The surroundings keep falling apart. I know I must leave this place right now. But Luxian doesn't move. Let's go. Don't throw away your life like this. Never mind me. Let me stay here. I don't want to see the world, what the world will become. Buried inside ruins. For me, this is a nice ending. A huge rock collapses in front of me, and Luxian takes a step back. Damn. Luxian, are you alright? I'll move this rock out of the way. Leave me alone. You can't save me. Don't panic, I'm looking for tools. There must be a way to get rid of... Don't waste your time. Go. How can I leave you here? Let's leave together. I'm not like you. You still have hope. You have to live on. More rocks start falling down. The warning lights have painted the marble and blood into the same colour. Luxian! Luxian! I place my ears on the rock, wants to hear her last words. I'm sorry. I wasn't a good sister. I suddenly feel a sense of loss. Looks like in the end, she's still thinking about her brother. I turn around and run away by myself. Somehow I always wanted her to make it out in the end. To know that there is always a better tomorrow. It hurts. The rock, just as I wish, separates me and Yan. So cold. Scattered rocks envelop my body, and my consciousness begins to melt with the cold and inorganic world. Of course, these cold things were what the world was originally made of. I'd rather not have known. As my thoughts start drifting away from my mind, I finally gain an epiphany and envy. Sorry, I wasn't a good sister. Finally, the tapping of footsteps fade into the distance. I'm sorry. Sorry. Oh, just like that, Kiki. She's become like that one that committed suicide. Sorry. There's really more to this. Chapter... Take a look at yourself, make a change. No wait, it's not proceeding to another chapter. I rush out from the TV station. The sky is shrouded in black. Only the full moon hangs in the sky. Under the blurry darkness faintly veiled by moonlight. The TV station seems to be shaking. How long has it been standing for? It's now reached the end of its lifespan. Its body of rock speckling into dust. Even a gust of wind could send it crumbling down. I keep hearing crackling sounds. Based on instinct, I continue to walk forward a few paces. However, I do not expect myself to trip and nearly fall over. I feel my head splitting apart, as if there's 1,000 needles piercing into my brain, swirling and twirling inside. I see illusions. For a moment, I thought Luxian's still by my side. I want to grab her hands, but all I touch is air. I cradle my head and drag myself forward, unable to walk in a straight line. I spot some people running out from the building. They are just like me, walking in a daze, unable to keep moving straight. On the road, cars are everywhere, jumbled in a mess. For a moment, I'm unable to make out the direction. I don't remember the streets being like this. A frightening voice is echoing from afar, like the moaning of beasts. It doesn't resemble anything that's coming out from a person's throat. But there are only people here. That's why it feels so frightening. There's a splatter of water on the ground, forming a long spill. But it isn't water, it has a dark oily luster to it. Under the reflection of the moonlight, blurry shadows are waving before me. They are hologons, waving their weapons and clashing with each other. They are attacking and laughing at the same time. Hooligans, sorry. The voices I heard were the sounds of the attackers and the attacked, all mingling with each other. Some people remain calm and are trying to stop them from fighting, but are attacked instead. So it's a riot. Our society has accumulated so much stress after being controlled by the black box for so long. Now the constraints are gone. The stress is being let out. I'm dumbstruck by what I see when I approach the scene. I thought the attackers were bulky men. Instead, under the streetlights, there are a few grey-haired old ladies. It's like this everywhere, sorry. Some of the attackers are middle school students in uniform. Some are youngsters just like me. Some are even elderly people holding their canes. A roaring sound bursts out from afar, followed by streams of fire rising up into the air. The cars on the road are engulfed by flames. The crowd begins to cheer. God, this is like before a post-apocalyptic scenario. The people who were attacked are now waving their weapons, hitting other people instead. I cannot differentiate anymore. I can't tell who's right or wrong. The civilization we took so much effort to build is being destroyed in one single night. But is this really civilization? Rationality controlled by the black box? Can we still call it rationality? I don't think so. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, if we don't tear away this fake rationality, then how can we have the strength to move forward? According to the books, history is the best teacher. It can teach us what can be or can't be done. But the black box rewrote history and allowed technology to stagnate. It planned everything for us, setting to everything in stone. If you want to learn how to walk, you have to let go of your parents' hands and fall down a few times. No pain, no gain. It's that simple. The riot tonight will be engulfed in everyone's memories as a cautionary tale. Lessons written in blood can drive people to continue to walk on the right path. I don't have time to ponder anymore. I can only keep escaping. I can't stop here. After I stop to catch my breath, I notice the buildings around me have been replaced by low-rises. A sea breeze is gently sweeping by. I'm not sure how accurate a black box's calculations are. Maybe it's beyond my imagination. Maybe I don't have the right to dictate which path we should take. Maybe there are people who would rather be pawns to a machine. But I'm already disgusted by working by daily routines in a convenience store. I had the opportunity to change everything. So I did. Even after seeing the consequences of my actions, I have no regrets. There's a silver lining forming on the horizons. That's when I realize I've been walking and stumbling across the city for the whole night. I'm now inside a familiar forest. It's near to the coast. I can hear the waves. The light from the rising sun is filtering through the leaves, reflecting on my skin. The lights are weak, but warm. Very soon, this light will also shine on others as well, exorcising the darkness inside their hearts. I rub the branches beside me. I feel a sturdy sensation. They all grew from a little bud. They are weak, but now they are full of life. This is life. Things that are weak become strong, delicate but sturdy, chaotic but full of life. That's real life. We shouldn't be living by rote, like a flower in a vase, like a little plastic person inside a snow globe. We shouldn't kill off our potential. We should be standing on our own feet, drinking in the nutrients from the ground, and keep growing. Like trees, we don't need to tie ourselves with a ruler to stand up straight. The black box is destroyed. It doesn't matter if it's created by aliens or a machine to protect humans. it won't change the fact that it's been destroyed. Should I have destroyed it? I'm not sure, but now's not the time to reflect. What fate will become of us? It's just a waste of time to be fearful of the future. What I can do now is to never kneel and pray that the aliens are already gone. I'm going to use my full body to feel the world, no matter how dark or bright it is. And then I will survive. And that looks like it's it. That's the story of Snowdome. Wow. That was quite a sensational story behind it. And it also had the player, myself, be confused a few times, like, is this person bad or is that person bad? So all in all, there are two other main characters aside Tanyan as the protagonist. There's Aiju, who is the definite savior, and then there's Lexian, who was also in a way controlled by the TV's nanotechnology, because it controlled her in a different way to her brothers. Like, in a way, her brother was kind of more or less the savior, but Lexian was more or less the villain in the tale of which one of these two siblings is the more evil version from their parents. But the similarities between the protagonist and Lexian are so similar, like they both led a very similar life. But all in all, everyone on Painhue Island also lived a similar life. You know, during their teenage years, their relationship with their parents would start to crumble, because the cycle inside this dome, inside this snow dome, would always follow a protocol, a rhythm, a flow, a set of events, which is for everyone, and everyone follows that similar routine. And that cycle is only projected by the TVs, which projects traveling with Kiki, and that was the method in which the aliens can control humans. So, with all the times that we said that Aiju was living the fantasy or stuff like that, was completely wrong, because in a way this was alien, but we didn't see any signs of physical aliens. It's more of a psychological alien, but the war itself is still something. But is the war in itself just a means to feed emotions onto people in a way that says that there wasn't actually a war, but there was knowledge that was transmitted into the minds of both humans and the harmonics that told them that there was a war, that there was something out there which incidentally committed this calamity in which this barrier was created to isolate Painhue Island away from the rest of the world. Like, was there really a war? Because when you try and trap all those negative emotions by feeding them emotions of other things, then it will just stack and stack and stack and stack. And until the time it is finally freed by destroying the black box, all that rage, all that negativity is outbursted in that one moment. So, thank you all so much for watching, guys. I know this hasn't been a hugely popular series on the channel, and I can kind of see why. You know, Chinese games translated to English is a bit hit and miss when it comes to these sort of things. And I feel like this is one of the stronger ones. It definitely has a very fantasy, unique atmosphere about it. I really do like that. But I feel like at the start of the game, the plot line was a little bit bland. Like, the story was quite, not confusing, but it just seems like everything was very predictable. But then the last part of the game, or the last half of the game, everything was just all over the place. So you got this really topsy-turvy tale of Tanyan believing Eiju, and then at other times Tanyan completely denying Eiju. But then on the other half of the story, you have Tanyan also going along with the flow with Luxian, but then the opposite occurs when the other convenience gets in the way. So Snowdome is probably a way of trapping or containing people inside a certain area. Like the Simpsons movie. They'll put a dome over Springfield because it polluted too much. It provided too much carbon monoxide around the globe, so a way to contain it is obviously to trap it and all its citizens. Much like with Painhue Island. But what is unique about Painhue Island and why was it targeted by aliens? Question mark. Because that's still a thing. Is it really aliens? Or is it just a means to isolate and control people? Like, humans in their own ways can be aliens. Alien feelings. Alien projections. Alien thoughts. Like in our day-to-day lives, do we always have to believe in what others say because they're the ones that say it? Do we let our naivety always get in the way of what people say and therefore just follow them like sheep? Is that how hierarchy is meant to be built? You know, the inferior always believes the superior because of a hierarchy. Or what I like to think is a self-proclaimed hierarchy. Anyways, enough rambling about me, but what about the word snow? What does that have to do with this game? Cold, emotion. The snow part is the emotion behind the entirety, or at least the majority of the Let's Play. It's like an ordinary life with Tanyan, and this ordinary life doesn't really change that much until he met Eiju. And then that snow became more like water. But of course, you can't have water in a frozen time and space scenario in which the dome has encapsulated Painhue Island. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching, guys. This is the ending of this game. There are absolutely no choice in this game, so therefore there are no other endings or outcomes. Thank you all so much for watching, and happy 2021 to all of you, and take care of yourselves.